Chair.
Thank you all. I'd like to call the Public Works Committee meeting August 13, 2025, 6:30 in the Courthouse Council Chamber. Present tonight, we have Dan Callahan, Bill Boyle, Russell Larry, Trudy Healy, myself, Eric Mankins. Absent tonight, Commissioner O'Neill. First off on the docket, we have communication number. And Tommy Walker is sitting in for Commissioner O'Neill. Tonight, again on the docket, communication number 2024-544, Michelle Shea, District 2 Commissioner, requests a status update and Public Works Committee review of the condition of the walking trail tunnel under Harrison Avenue, south of Dickey's Barbecue. We have Director Neary, Public Works Director Neary, also present at this right now. So I would like to turn it over to Public Works Director Neary for an update if he has any on this communication.
Thank you, Chairman Mankins. At this time, I think we put this communication in the suspense file because we don't have any new updates. It's still the same status. I think we've come to the determination that it's MDTs. It's not Butte-Silver bows. We didn't ever have an agreement. The MDT was going to do a traffic study at the crossing, but I check in once a month and I've never heard any update on if they've ever come up with any new information. Our next meeting is the 11th of September, and we talk about it. It's on the agenda when we talk about it. But so if there's any updates, I'll bring it to the body.
Thank you, Director Neary, with that. So again, if the public didn't hear that, it's brought out of the suspense file. It is the property of MTT, and there has been a traffic study that is supposed to be in progress to check the crossing at that area. The next meeting will be September 11th. Director Neary will then ask for any more updates from them. On the question, anyone? Nothing on the question. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for this communication.
I'll make a motion to hold this communication 2024-544 until the following, the meeting following the next MDT meeting, which is happening September 11th. We'll have to figure out what that date is, but the next meeting following that.
So we have a motion on the floor to hold communication number 2024-544 in abeyance until after the September 11th next meeting. That motion was made by Commissioner O'Leary. We had a second by Commissioner Callahan. Anything else on the question? All those in favor? All those opposed? So we have a 6-0. And moving on until that September 11th. After that would be September 17th. Holding abeyance to September 17th. So that will be September 24th. September 24th. So next on our docket, we have communication number 2025-297. Russ O'Leary, Commissioner, District 5, informing Council of Commissioner about concerns regarding roadside trash and landfill covered load requirement. We've discussed this in some different detail, but we do now have Public Works Director Mark Neary here with us. So I'm going to open up the floor first with Public Works Director Neary on any of his thoughts or if anything's come to this body.
Thank you, Chairman Mankins. I believe at the second to last meeting, Commissioner O'Leary had an idea about maybe putting up signs in MDT's right-of-way, seasonal signs stating that loads need to be covered. And we talked about it yesterday briefly about, I will bring that up at the September 11th MDT meeting and ask them if they're good with that. Since this has been brought up, though, and I think everyone can agree, some garbage has been picked up since it's been out there and kind of on people's minds and on social media. I believe we've seen some improvements.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up too, Director Neary, and thank you for the signage and recognizing that. I think that is a really good idea that Commissioner O'Leary and I think Commissioner Healy and all of us have piggybacked back off of that to make sure of that sign, but bringing that to that September 11th meeting just to see where that clarity is. But I think I would agree with Director Neary that I think with some of the communication out in the public and just the buzz out there that people are being a little bit more aware and taking that responsibility out there. I would like to hear from Commissioner O'Leary in any of the thoughts or moving forward if that sounds satisfactory to himself and where he's going with this communication number 2025-297.
Thank you, Chairman Mankins. Yeah, that sounds good to me as far as having the conversation with MDT. One additional thing I thought about that might be worthwhile for us as maybe a committee or as a commission to do is sometime next spring when the snow melts, if we just as a body would consider adopting a particular spot in the community to, collectively all go out and find an evening to pick up some trash and use it as an opportunity to inform the community about this issue. I think my intention at this point would be to hold this until after you've had the meeting with MDT, and then at that point put it in the suspense file until next March, and we can revisit if that's okay with the rest of the community here.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Leary. You'll have to do that in a motion here in a second, but we have a few on the question here, so looks like Commissioner Callahan would also like to talk about something here.
Yeah, I just got a question, Mark. Seasonal signs, would that be like one of them orange signs that has language on it? Caution, loss, says loads must be covered or something like that? Is that what they're talking, or?
Thank you, Commissioner Callahan. Director Neary.
Chairman Mankins, Commissioner Callahan, I'm going to have to bring an idea to them. They aren't, that isn't, the majority of the garbage is on their right away. And so I believe that they should want to join forces, but I don't know what type of seasonal sign, whether it would be a reader board or if we just put up a sign that we could take down or fold down or whatever. It should be year round, but what happens is, like what Commissioner O'Leary says, you see that sign over and over and over again, you ignore it. But if they did pop up at a certain time, that could help. But these are ideas that I'll bring to MDT and we can see what will happen.
Follow up, Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Mr. Mankins. My suggestion would be maybe we don't wait till spring. We get our group together this fall and get her cleaned up sooner. I know I'd be willing to do that. And I drove down Iron Street in the last couple of weeks, and there's just still a ton of garbage there. So yeah, we could certainly use it now, and once we get started, I guess we'll do it again in the spring.
Thank you, Commissioner Callahan, on maybe pushing that back or pushing that up a little bit to the fall. Just for the public knowledge, I'm trying to think of the month that we do cleanup. I Yeah. So that month again in June, but it would be a good idea to, I think, as Commissioner Callahan and Commissioner O'Leary, and I think everybody on this board would like to see that just moved up, and we could adopt, like you said, a certain spot, and hopefully get some public buy-in to help us out and to make it more aware of that time. So, anything else on the question? Commissioner Callahan.
Yeah, I just got one comment. You know, I went to the car museum on Monday, went to Deer Lodge, and I did notice that there is Adopt a Highway sign on Iron, just west of Iron Street, that has some group at Montana Tech. So maybe we can contact them and see. Obviously, they're not around all summer, but maybe that group's interested in helping us or something.
Sure, that's another great idea, Commissioner Callahan, with that Adopt a group, that we could look into that and see who that is through Montana Tech. Anything else on the question? Commissioner Healy.
I just was going to remind everyone that Commissioner Callahan also brought up the candles for showing, you know, if people aren't covering their loads. So it wouldn't take extra police or anything like that.
Yeah, I had talked to Mr. Gary about it because they use them on the parking. And he said right now they're still ironing out some stuff on the parking side of it. But he said he'd be more than glad to sit down and with us and work on it with the company that does it. So in the future, that's something we definitely want to pursue, I think.
Thank you, Commissioner Healy, for bringing that up and reminding us of that. Brought up the candles from Commissioner Callahan, and it seems like Commissioner Callahan has reached out to Director Gary and to see what we can do in making sure that those kinks are worked out through the parking, and to see how we could adopt that a little bit later on, and that could be something more that we looked into as the fall also when this is brought up. Anything else on the question? So, Commissioner O'Leary.
Thank you, Chairman Mankins. I'd like to make the motion at this time for 2025-297 to hold this in abeyance until the September 24th Public Works Committee meeting following Director Neary's meeting with MDT.
So, we have a motion on the floor to hold in abeyance communication number 2025-297 by Commissioner Leary, to hold this in abeyance until after the September 11th by MTT meeting, to talk about the signage that could possibly be put together after we meet on September 24th to discuss. Then we can look at more steps on either putting this in the suspense file or waiting to see if we're going to bring this back up in the fall, or what we will do moving forward. But at this time, we have a motion on the floor. We have a seconded by Commissioner Callahan. All those in favor? Aye. All those against? Anything on the question? I said I did that backwards, but yeah. But we have a 6-0 with nothing on the question this time. So at this time, those are the only two communications that we have in Public Works meeting tonight. I want to thank Director Neary for being here with his insights on the meeting from MTT on September 11th, and waiting for the communication and the response back from them, and with everybody else being here and providing quite a bit of knowledge on this, and still asking the public to help us out here and to do the right thing and make sure this trash gets to where it's supposed to be and not all over our roadways. So we would much appreciate that. I do believe, though, with like Director Neary says, that I think in some spots that it has been cleaned up and it has stayed cleaned up. So hopefully we can do this little by little, but hopefully the public is helping us out a lot more. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So we have a motion to adjourn. We have a second by Commissioner Boyle and Callahan. All those in favor? 6-0, we are adjourned. Thank you all.